Hey Faith Church, Pastor Anthony here. Miss seeing your beautiful faces, miss being with you. I wanted to share some time with you today, reading one of my favorite books with you. It's called The Biggest Story, How the Snake Crusher Brings Us Back to the Garden by Kevin DeYoung. So this is an awesome one for you and for any of the kiddos in your family to come and watch and read along with me. We're going to read just one chapter at a time. So yeah, I hope you're excited to share this with me hope you're as excited to share this with me as I am to share it with you. Look at these cool pictures. Let's go find the first page, chapter 1. Look at that lion. Like, what is he eating? How cool is that? It's like a flower or something? What a neat book. Okay, chapter 1. Once upon a time, there lived a man and a woman. They were the happiest people on the planet. True, they were the only people on the planet, but they were still terrifically happy. Their names were Adam and Eve, and God made them. He made them in His image, little mirrors to reflect God's glory, and like everything else God made, He made them good. It was a wonderful time to be God's children in God's wonderful world. Look how cool this garden looks. Look at the trees and the plants and the flowers. Man, it is so beautiful. Oh, and what do you see up here? It's Adam and Eve in the garden, having a good time. Unfortunately, things didn't stay happy and wonderful for long. On one very bad day, Adam ate from the only tree God had declared off limits. Ooh, not a good idea. Adam failed. It was a terrible day, the second worst day in the history of the world. A snake had tricked Adam and Eve and told them a lie about the fruit. He said they would be like God if they ate it, but actually the opposite was true. When they ate the fruit, they found themselves far away from God. Look at that tree that they weren't supposed to eat from. Here you can see the body of the snake with his head in the fruit trying to give it to Adam and Eve. See, whenever God speaks and tells us things, He always tells us the truth. And when someone tells us God's not telling the truth, they're lying to us. And that's exactly what the snake did. He lied to Adam and Eve and tricked them. And Adam and Eve believed the snake and didn't believe God. They had disobeyed God's word and believed the lie of that devilish snake instead of the truth. Being near to God and having Him draw near to us would not be easy any longer. Look at that. God was not happy with Adam and Eve. He wasn't happy with the snake either. God put a curse on man and the woman and the snake and everything else. He kicked Adam and Eve out of the garden paradise He had made for them. It wasn't possible for a people who were so bad to live with a God who was so good. They had to go. Remember, God made Adam and Eve, made everything and it was good. But when Adam and Eve sinned, they became bad, and everything else became bad with them. How do you think they felt having to leave the garden? But before they left, God made a promise. He promised that the evil serpent, the devil, would always be at war with Eve and her children. Now that doesn't sound like a very nice promise, that bad guys and good guys would fight all the time. Who wants to be in a war that never ends? Look at all those swords and spears and things people would use for fighting. But here's where the good news part of the promise comes in. God promised that one of Eve's children would someday, eventually, sooner or later, crush the head of that nasty snake. Nobody knew when or how, but she would have a child to put things right. I wonder who is this special child that Eve is going to have that will one day crush the serpent and rescue God's people. You think you know? Why don't you ask your mommy or daddy and see if they can help you figure that out. Oh, lights went out. I guess that means chapter 1's over, and we'll read chapter 2 next time. Love you guys, miss you, and Lord willing, see you soon.